Thank you. Well, new this morning, we have a new segment for you we're calling Mindful Monday. At the start of each week, we'll talk with local experts about health, wellness, and safety topics that matter here in the Cooley region. For our very first Mindful Monday this morning, we have Lieutenant Jay Lindahl of the La Crosse Water Rescue Team to talk about staying safe on frozen waterways. So good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
joining us. Yeah, our inaugural guest for Monday morning, or Mindful Monday, so very exciting. Start by just telling us a little bit about what the La Crosse Fire Department Water Rescue Team does.
Yeah, we respond to all water emergencies in any environments, and we have a specialty team of 18 members. So obviously every member of the whole department is trained with cross training, but we have 18 members that are specially trained and are on shift every day, 24/7.
All right, very good to know. I saw a lot of people out ice fishing this weekend, so yeah, good to know that we are in good hands. You brought some equipment.
Yep.
I was going to ask about that special equipment. Maybe you could explain this or some of the stuff that you guys use?
Yeah, so when we do get that call, a 911 response for emergency, we use our personal flotation devices, and then we have Mustang suits we wear. It's a suit that has flotation in it, and then we're going to always tie off when we're on the ice so we can't get lost, and provide rescue. And then we also have RDCs, so rapid deployment crafts.
Okay.
It's a big inflatable boat that helps us get someone on and get them to shore safely.
Okay, very good to know there. So when is it safe? Like, when do you know it's safe to go out on frozen water?
Yeah, tough question, right? We say no ice is safe ice, but I do have some tips. When you're out on that ice, the river has current. That can be 15% weaker than lake ice, so lake ice is our strongest ice. So we want to be really careful reading that ice. 4 inches supports a person, 6 inches supports a small UTV, 1,500 pounds, and we need 12 inches of ice to support a light vehicle. So when we start thinking about that, we need to be out there measuring that ice, checking it, constantly evaluating it, because with the river in this town, current underwater, can really affect that, right? 15% can all of a sudden get to 30% weaker. And then some things to think about are, if you see a tree in the water, the sun's going to catch that tree and warm that area up. The ice is probably weaker in that area. If you're fishing by a dock, that metal warms up quicker, right? So all of a sudden that ice is a lot weaker around that. One thing we want to look for late season is, we call it candled ice.
Okay.
So when you think of a group of pencils together, really strong together, right?
Right.
But as you start looking at that ice, you'll see it in the late season, or if we get a real warm spell, you'll start seeing pieces just fall off, and it literally will just slough apart. And when you see that, you might have 6 inches of ice, but it's not safe ice. It's starting to deteriorate really fast. So we can't always just depend on thickness. We have to really look at that ice and see what we're dealing with.
Okay, yeah, some very good tips there.
Some common mistakes people make, not that they make mistakes.
Yeah, a common mistake is just not knowing the area they're in. You know, they don't have that awareness. It might be their first or second time out. You see other people out there and you're thinking, oh, I've got this. Have a friend, you know, make sure you know the ice, and talk to your local shops, bait shops. They have a lot of good information about what the ice conditions are like recently. So
yeah, do you guys recommend, you know, always going out with a buddy instead of going out alone?
Absolutely. Take a buddy. If you have to go alone, take a charged cell phone with you, and then some equipment here. Ice spud, very important. We can go along, check that as we're walking. If this goes through, obviously we don't want to go forward, right? Very common sense, but it's a very simple tool that I think can keep you very safe on the ice. And then as far as if someone does fall in, if you're with a buddy or even if you're alone, take a throw bag with, simple, has some rope in it. You can throw it to them from a distance, because if they fell through, we don't want to go up close to them because we could potentially fall in too. So this can keep us safe from a distance. And then if you're alone, take ice picks with. A lot of people wear them around their neck. Don't keep them in your pocket. That's not going to be easy to get to when you're soaking wet in the water and you're kind of panicking.
Yeah.
Keep them around your neck. Easy to get out, right? So these are going to help you a lot. Once you're up on that ice, roll. Just roll away from that bad ice, get to some better ice.
Okay, so you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but kind of summarize, what should you do if you fall in?
Yeah, if you fall in, you need to just stay calm. Really calm yourself down, take those first couple of breaths, and then start getting your equipment out that you hopefully have with you to rescue, and then call for help for people.
Okay, and they're rolling here. You just mentioned to roll, so that kind of demonstrates that.
Yep, this is us doing some training. Those are our Mustang suits I talked about. We're always tied in, so people are practicing self-rescues here, getting themselves out and rolling onto that good ice.
Okay, well, very, very important tips. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Lieutenant.
Yep, I appreciate it.